എല്ലാവർക്കും നമസ്കാരം. കുടുംബവിളക്കിലെ സുമിത്രയായി വേഷമിടുന്ന മീര വാസുദേവൻ ലൈവിൽ വന്നിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ആ ഒരു ലൈവാണ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഈ ഒരു വീഡിയോയിലൂടെ കാണാൻ സാധിക്കുക. അവരുടെ ഏറ്റവും അടുത്ത സുഹൃത്തായിട്ടുള്ള എഴുത്തുകാരൻ ഒന്നിച്ചായിരുന്നു ഈ ഒരു ലൈവിൽ അവർ വന്നിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നത്. എഴുത്തുകാരൻ്റെ പുതിയ പുസ്തകത്തെ പറ്റിയായിരുന്നു സംഭാഷണം. എന്തായാലും നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ആ ഒരു ലൈവ് കാണാം. കുടുംബവിളക്കിലെ സുമിത്രയെ വേഷമിടുന്ന നമ്മുടെ മീര വാസുദേവൻ്റെ ലൈവാണ് ഈ ഒരു വീഡിയോയിലുള്ളത്. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ഒരു ലൈവ് വീഡിയോ നിങ്ങൾ തുടർന്നും കാണുക. ഇത്തരം വീഡിയോസിനായിട്ട് ഇപ്പോൾ തന്നെ ചാനൽ സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്യുക, കൂടിയ ബെൽ ഐക്കൺ പ്രസ് ചെയ്യുക നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷനായി. മാത്രമല്ല എല്ലാ ആഴ്ചയിലും ചാനൽ റേറ്റിംഗ്സും ന്യൂസ് ചാനൽ റേറ്റിംഗ്സും എല്ലാ ചാനൽസിൻ്റെയും പ്രോഗ്രാം റേറ്റിംഗ്സും കുടുംബവിളക്കിൻ്റെ റേറ്റിംഗ്സ് ഒക്കെ നമ്മൾ എല്ലാ ആഴ്ചയിലും ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. അതൊക്കെ ലഭിക്കാനായിട്ട് ഇപ്പോൾ തന്നെ ചാനൽ സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്യുക, കൂടിയ ബെൽ ഐക്കൺ പ്രസ് ചെയ്യുക. മുൻപത്തെ ആഴ്ചകളിലെ ചാനൽ റേറ്റിംഗ്സിനായി പ്ലേലിസ്റ്റ് സന്ദർശിക്കുക. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കുടുംബവിളക്കിലെ സുമിത്ര വന്ന ലൈവ് തുടർന്ന് കാണാം. ആ ഒരു ലൈവ് ഇനി നിങ്ങൾ കാണാൻ പോകുന്നത്, കേൾക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത് കുടുംബവിളക്കിലെ സുമിത്ര അവരുടെ ഉറ്റ സുഹൃത്തായിട്ടുള്ള എഴുത്തുകാരനൊപ്പമുള്ള ലൈവായിരിക്കും. ആ ഒരു ലൈവിലേക്ക് ഇതാ.
Hi everyone. Hi. I'm here to have a discussion with Shubhavilas Prabhu, and he's a prolific author. He has written the Ramayana series, and as well as several other books on Lord Hanuman. Well, here he is. Let's welcome him back. I'm sorry, this is your interview of me, and I've already started.
No, absolutely. See.
Okay, Prabhuji, let's speak. So I really enjoyed your format. I first want to know, is the video better now? Is the video better?
Yeah, this is much better. I can at least see you live, other than just seeing images, basically.
Okay. Okay, Prabhuji. I really enjoyed the way you have put this book across. You have created quizzes and like a sort of questionnaire at the end of every chapter. Yes, and that kind of increases the kind of viewership, as in there are so many different kinds of people who can read the book. Now, probably my kid, he will enjoy this book through the years as he is getting older, through his teenage years and all. This is definitely something that he can reflect on, the questions, the diagrams and everything, And to me, as an adult, even though I'm not going to sit down with a pencil and pen, but sometimes those questions, they provoke thought. They make you really sit down and think about your own self as well as about questioning others as as our friends or so-called friends.
Yes, absolutely. So the whole idea of writing this book, I mainly wrote it a lot for young adults, because I felt that a lot of youngsters today don't have too many good people to talk with. They obviously don't connect with the parents so much, so they don't talk much with the parents. And with the friends, they have mostly casual conversations, nothing deep, nothing, nothing that is insightful, nothing that can help them grow in their personal lives. So I found that there's a gap of whom the youngsters can connect with. So I found that writing a book like this would really help, connect with a young mind in the right way, without being overwhelmingly threatening, without being pushy, without putting them any discomfort.
And you have provided plenty of examples from scriptures, examples from real life settings, and even from people that you know from your own childhood, from your own school years. I mean, it cuts across all ages. It makes the book, what do you say, accessible for all times to come. And in this particular time, with everyone being at home and everything and feeling quite disconnected and lonely in so many ways, it's actually quite a welcome relief. It brings back memories. It makes people feel like going back to resume relations, resume their friendships. So it's quite a welcome, time for this book to have come out. Really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
a lot of people told me that this is the wrong time to launch a book.
No.
I said, for a book like this, this is the absolutely right time because it's a crucial need for people to read a book like this at this time because that's when most people are realizing that I really don't have true friends.
That's true. That's one of the things I did. First thing I did, I sat and thought about, okay, who are my friends? Number one on the list, parents. And I really enjoyed the fact that you mentioned that so clearly because the most easiest thing to overlook is our parents.
Correct.
We become so increasingly focused on ourselves that unless we ourselves have kids, we don't realize the importance that they've played in our lives. After a point, they simply start becoming people who are getting in the way of what we want to do. Very sad, isn't it? Those who have tried
Absolutely.
much
It's
for
true.
us, done so much for us, yeah, they have scolded us, yeah, they have done things in ways that we would not find very appealing, but then they are our number one friends always, isn't it? And I like the way you have
Absolutely.
brought it out. Could you please
Yeah,
tell?
I really put an entire section on parents because in my personal understanding, if you
Hmm,
really understand counseling and if you understand psychology a little bit, a lot of problems that people go through in their adulthood and in their teenage and also in their the midlife, it's all connected with the relationship with parents. So
yes,
if the relationship with the parents has not been smooth and it's not been a love-filled one, it really creates a lot of hollowness in people's minds, and it reflects as behavioral issues. It
true.
reflects as loneliness. It reflects as inability to deal with people and with situations of life and things like
Yes,
that.
yes, yes. That's true, especially when we are, what do you say, disconnected from our parents. As adults, when we grow up, we leave the nest, we leave the comfort of home, and we set out to do things on our own. And then we have that discord where we are not able to get back with our parents for whatever reasons. It's always a disturbing thing. It always makes your soul feel, uneasy. I would
Correct.
just like to take a minute there and say thank you to a few of my friends who are also here. Kritika is there,
Please,
Rebecca.
please,
Thank you
please.
guys for being there. So many of you here. Thank you so much for appreciating my work, Shubhavilas ji's work. Thanks for being here. Thank you for listening. I hope you're enjoying this talk. Sorry, let's continue.
Please feel anytime you need to talk to anyone on the group, you should feel comfortable and free to do that.
Thank you. And then you
It
have
is
spoken.
amazing to see the kind of love that is coming in towards you during this while we are having this conversation. That actually shows how deeply you have impacted people's lives.
I'm grateful. And I have seen, what do you say? You have spoken about friendship with one's own self. Apart from
Right.
parents, best friendship we can have is with one's own self. So how is it that we can be friends with this self? Who exactly is this self? Are you talking about God? Exactly on what level are we connecting and with who are we connecting?
So I always believed that the greatest enemy of a human being is inside, is one's own self. There is
Mm,
actually no outside enemy.
mm,
So if you really have any enemy in life, that's you. The Bhagavad Gita actually puts it in a different way by saying, by talking about how your mind can be your best friend and your worst enemy.
right,
So when you really understand your own self from at the deepest level, then you are at peace with who you are.
mm,
A lot
mm,
of people in life are absolutely not at peace with who they are, and they're
right,
trying to be somebody else.
right.
And in the process of trying to be somebody else, they really mess up their lives and they live such hollow lives, basically. And my understanding is I'm actually going to do an entire workshop on self acceptance because what I have seen is so many people, hundreds and thousands of people that I come across the world, one of their greatest problems is they don't accept themselves as they are. They're trying to
Mm,
be a version of somebody else. They're trying
mm,
to imitate somebody else. They're trying to emulate somebody else from in an illogical perspective. Each of us are created with certain strengths and certain weaknesses. Now, our strengths and weaknesses, obviously, they cannot be interchanged with somebody else. Your
Right.
strength may be somebody else's weakness, and somebody else's strength may be your weakness. So when you
Correct.
try to compare yourself with somebody else, you're actually comparing yourself on the wrong basis. And
Right.
when you're comparing yourself on the wrong basis, you feel dejected, you feel miserable that you don't have that which the other person has. You're actually letting yourself down.
Correct.
And more
Because
than
you
that,
can't what another person has anyway. It is not possible.
correct. Just like the fingerprints on our hands, every fingerprint is different, right?
Yes.
Similarly, if you look at butterflies, the wings of the
Sorry,
butterflies, each
sorry, Prabhu.
wing.
I have a
Yeah.
question here which says, who is the role model for you? I am speaking to one of my role models. Keep listening. Right there. Comment with us, Prabhu. Please keep listening. Please. Sorry.
So I was saying, just like butterflies, each of the butterflies, you will never find two butterflies having the exact same pattern.
Right.
Every butterfly has completely different patterns. Each one of us are created unique by God. And when we celebrate the uniqueness, we're actually celebrating God's greatness. And when we are
Correct.
comparing ourselves with somebody else, and we're trying to be like somebody else, we're actually insulting God's greatness. And
True.
that's my understanding of how one should really accept oneself as one is, and in that way, a best friend.
Right, right. I have seen that in some of my toughest times. No matter how many friends you have or everything, but you see, your parents stand by you. Yes, they are your friends. But then beyond that, they also have a limit. Like they cannot reach into you and pull you out of that shell that you have kept yourself within. So yes, befriending oneself, being connected to God, being connected to oneself, accepting oneself is so important, knowing that okay, yes, these are the things, this is my situation today, these are my circumstances, I cannot change them, but I need to accept that this is who I am, these are my weaknesses, and now I need to work at making them into my strengths. So like you said, yes, starting with self acceptance is the most important thing to do. I cannot be like another, I cannot be another ever. And it is good, it
Correct.
is good because God has blessed me with the potential, he has given me a reserve to create, he has given me healthy hands, feet, he has given me a good working mind. What do you say, everything is good, I'm fit, I'm healthy, I'm capable. And from there we start recreation. So whatever is gone, whatever has already fallen, broken, that's gone, it's in the past. Now we can relive, now we can restart with what we have, with a fresher perspective. Somehow I've seen failures make us calmer, more peaceful, more relaxed because we come to terms with who we are. At least that is something I have learned about myself. And it has
You're
actually
absolutely right.
made it
You're absolutely right. That is the deepest reality of life.
there are some people here asking about my son. So, well, my son is not here at the moment. He's with my parents.
People seem to be in love with Ariha.
Yes, they are. And yeah, I do see some people are still saying that our the internet is still isn't all that good. Well, trying. This is the home Wi-Fi connection trying.
Yes, yeah.
Prabhuji, you
It's
have
okay.
spoken about in today's times, we see that, when you are younger, carefree, not much to worry about, we have a lot of friends. And now sitting at home on so many social media platforms, also we have so many friends. But in reality, when we step out of the house, we usually feel as we work harder, as we get more and more involved into our professional lives, we start leaving people behind, we start getting more and more and more lonelier by the day. Although we are successful, we keep getting more and more lonely with time. That applies not just, that applies with everyone, with everyone's life, with what do you say, people employed at work, self-employed people, actors, doctors, name it. Even you over at over a point of time would have felt that way. But what is it that we should do to keep our mind strong and not succumb to that loneliness, never feel that we should end this existence or we should punish ourselves. How is it that we can strengthen our mind to find that guidance and that strength, or the friend within? How do we find the friend within?
So a lot of times when I do my talks at the Indian Institute of Management and some of these really IITs and few other places which are where we have highly intellectual people, I begin my talk by saying this. I begin my talk by saying that the talented people are some of the most loneliest people in the world. The most talented people are also some of the most loneliest people in the world. You actually find that people who are simple, who are, may not be intellectually astute, may not have achieved too much in life, they're actually very contented because they know that peace and contentment and happiness comes when you connect with people. Peace, contentment, happiness doesn't come with money. It doesn't come with success. It doesn't come with fame and adoration. It doesn't come with luxuries. What it really comes with is when you have a deep connect. This is one of the quotes that Radhanath Swami Maharaj often repeats, and I'm sure you would have heard of this. He says, how successful you are depends on how many things you have that money can't buy. Money can buy a lot of things.
Yes,
but
true.
there are many things that money cannot buy, no matter how much you try.
Right.
Money cannot buy peace. Money cannot buy contentment. Money cannot buy relationships. Money cannot buy love. Money cannot buy satisfaction. So, how many things you have in life that money cannot buy? That actually determines your success. So, a lot of people, they are running after things that money can buy. And in the process of running after things that money can buy, they just do not have the time to pause and look at things that money cannot buy. And one of the things that money just cannot buy is friendship. And how did you get your friends? Like if you go back to your younger days and if you go back to your schools and colleges, where those are the times when we had the best of friends and the best of company. Right. So what really happens in those times, that is different now. Simply because in those times we had a lot of time with us.
Correct.
And we gave a lot of time to people who really mattered to us.
Correct.
Today,
so time is the factor.
We are running so busy. We're running at the speed of the clock. But unfortunately, many times we forget which direction we're running in.
Correct.
And is that speed really important? So sometimes we just need to pause and spend time with people that really matter to us.
Yes. And with time, you start realizing the people that matter to you genuinely are your family and those who have lasted through thick and thin with you over the years. No matter what. Time is such an important factor in building relations. And that is the one thing we need to put out. Time. It doesn't matter the number. It matters the quality. That's the only thing that matters.
In fact, in the Ramayana, you'll love to hear this. When there were times, when the citizens of Ayodhya were asked, why do you want Ram to be the king of Ayodhya? They had a very interesting observation. They would say that you want Ram to be the king because he spends time with us.
Yeah.
And when we
have at least one of his books in your collection. It has to be there. You have to read his books. So yes, Prabhuji, so this was wonderful. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Very grateful. Hoping to connect soon.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Same here. All the gratitude. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye. I would like to thank everyone who was part of this Insta Live conversation with Shubha Vilas Prabhu. He is one of my dearest friends, and of course his book is called The Magic of Friendships. So who better to talk about friendships with except your own friend, right? His are the kind of books that must decorate every home, not just decorate, but they are unputdownable. Once you get hand on even one of his books, you just need to keep reading more and more and more. So I wish Shubha Vilas Prabhu all the very best, and I'm very, very thrilled to see his books. I look forward to each and every one of them, and that's something I'm going to hand over to my kid too. Thank you so much, everyone, for being part of this conversation, and I hope that you found some peace, solace, and happiness by being part of this. Thank you.
അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങളിപ്പോൾ കേട്ടതും കണ്ടതും കുടുംബവിളക്കിലെ സുമിത്രയായി വേഷമിടുന്ന മീര വാസുദേവൻ്റെ ലൈവാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇത്തരം ലൈവ് വീഡിയോസിനും എല്ലാ ആഴ്ചയിലും ചാനൽ റേറ്റിംഗ്സും ന്യൂസ് ചാനൽ റേറ്റിംഗ്സും എല്ലാ ചാനൽസിൻ്റെയും പ്രോഗ്രാം റേറ്റിംഗ്സും കുടുംബവിളക്ക് ഉൾപ്പെടെയുള്ള സീരിയൽസിൻ്റെ റേറ്റിംഗ്സ് ഒക്കെ അറിയാനായിട്ട് ഇപ്പോൾ തന്നെ ചാനൽ സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്യുക. കൂടിയ ബെൽ ഐക്കൺ പ്രസ് ചെയ്യുക. നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷനായി വീഡിയോ ഇഷ്ടമായെങ്കിൽ തീർച്ചയായും ഒരു ലൈക്ക് ഇടുക. മാത്രമല്ല കുടുംബവിളക്കിലെ സുമിത്രയെ മീര വാസുദേവൻ ഇഷ്ടപ്പെടുന്നവരിലേക്ക് ഒരു വീഡിയോ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ഷെയർ ചെയ്ത് കൊടുക്കുക. വാട്സാപ്പ് ഗ്രൂപ്പ്, ഫേസ്ബുക്ക് ഗ്രൂപ്പ്, ഇൻസ്റ്റാഗ്രാം, ടെലിഗ്രാം തുടങ്ങിയ മാധ്യമങ്ങളിലൂടെയൊക്കെ കുടുംബവിളക്കിനെ ഇഷ്ടപ്പെടുന്നവരിലേക്ക് ഒരു വീഡിയോ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ഷെയർ ചെയ്ത് കൊടുക്കുക. മുൻപത്തെ ആഴ്ചകളിലെ ചാനൽ റേറ്റിംഗ്സ് അറിയാനായിട്ട് പ്ലേലിസ്റ്റ് തീർച്ചയായും സന്ദർശിക്കുക. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് പുതിയൊരു ലൈവ് വീഡിയോസും ചാനൽ റേറ്റിംഗ്സും വീഡിയോസും കുറേയധികം വീഡിയോസൊക്കെ ആയിട്ട് വരാം. അതുവരേക്കും എല്ലാവർക്കും ബൈ ആൻഡ് സ്റ്റേ സേഫ്. പ്ലീസ് ലൈക്ക് ദ വീഡിയോ.